Hey, what's up? This is DJ Prostyle.
And this is Penny Dellas.
And this is Teach Me Something.
Brought to you by Berkeley College.
All right.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
We are back. Suntanned and all. Welcome to Teach Me Something.
Suntanned and all. I like that.
With DJ Prostyle.
This is how you know we're doing this during the summertime right now.
And myself. The heat wave has just been following us.
I love it. I love the heat. I'm here for it.
No, see, because last time we were recording, you were like, Penny decided to record on the hottest day of the year. And then the heat wave followed me to Rome, to Milan, to Greece, and now back to Jersey. So what are we doing, bro?
Well,
like,
what are
is
you
happening?
doing?
What is happening with Mother Nature?
You just dropped some big cities that you've been traveling around.
It was fun.
When are we doing podcasts out there?
I'm saying, iHeart should fund this. iHeart should fund it, and we should go to,
all right,
to Greece.
Let's get to Shelley Wade. She is here. Shelley's like, this is what the podcast is about, huh? Just hearing you guys bicker.
I was just gonna say, Penny, no matter where you go, it's gonna be fire. So that's why you bring
this
heat.
is why Shelley's here today.
No, she's a professional.
You know, we are so excited to have this phenomenal guest with us today. Shout out to the one and the only. Shelley Wade.
Hey, thank you guys
the
for having me.
The living legend,
Yes.
Shelley
I appreciate
Wade.
It. My first time meeting Pro in person.
Yeah, same here. The accolade queen over here. I mean, she has,
I know, right?
It's big time.
So what y'all got to ask me?
Shelley,
we're here to teach you something.
Okay,
I'm playing.
You are never too old to learn.
We're gonna learn from you. From your. I mean, where do we start? Because she's done so much. I mean, where did it begin? Maybe like what got you into where you're at?
What embarked?
Mm-hmm. What
this
sparked
journey?
the interest to get into? I guess you want to say media because she falls under so many umbrellas of
What's
what
funny
she's
is
done.
we've done research. We have a script, and then Shelley's here, and we're starstruck. And now
you're
it's
not looking
like,
at your research. You're not looking
and
at
now
your
it's
notes.
like.
Just
tell us
if you
everything.
look at any episode, you're gonna see that I never look down at any. No, well, you know, this is what radio. This is what radio does.
Do you pre-read the notes, or you just don't look at them? Period.
Well, you know, sometimes
don't admit faults, bro.
Sometimes
I do all this research.
Well, this is what
we have a call.
The perfect balance.
We
There's
go
the
over
freestyle king, and then the one who's like prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
We have a call.
I do my
and
research though. I do like a
things.
crash course on.
Okay.
You know, like obviously I already know a lot about
So
you, but like if
you
it's
cram like it's like a test or
so
something.
like when I'm on, let's say for my radio shows, if I'm doing an artist interview and I'll do like my research. You know, I have like a long drive coming in, so like I'll like watch other interviews or I'll do like a cram course.
I hope you're not watching other interviews during your drive, Pro.
Anyway, listen.
Oh no.
Okay, I listen to other interviews. That sounds better.
All right, so we have Liam in the back showing us the clock. So let's start and get into it. So Shelley, what pivoted you to embark on this journey in communications?
I grew up wanting to be a Grammy Award-winning singer. That was always my dream since I was a little girl. And I used to perform around town. I grew up in Houston, by the way. And I performed around town. And my high school was a school of communications. Literally, my siblings, all of my siblings, I have 3 siblings. They all also studied radio and television in high school. I was the only one who chose it as a career, though. But when I got to college and it was time to decide what I wanted to major in, I didn't want to major in music per se, but I still wanted to be a singer. So I said, you know what, I'll major in what I studied in high school, radio and television. And when I started working at my college radio station was when I caught the radio bug. And I was like, you know what, I could pursue this. And that's what really, got me really interested in it. Yeah. Because although I studied it in high school, it wasn't my dream then. But it was when I got to college, was when I made the decision that I wanted to pursue it. Yeah. That's what sparked it.
That's awesome.
So what you sing is what I got out of that whole story.
She heard me say that. She didn't hear anything else. You sing. Oh. And everything else that sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher.
You sung the
you
anthem.
sang in the garden.
Yes.
I did. I sang.
We've had this
Was that
conversation
nervous or
before.
what?
Yeah, the interesting thing about it is that I never get nervous when I'm in front of people. I'm sure you don't either.
Yeah. No, I do all the time. Every time Penny walks in here, I just get nervous.
The nerves.
Is it like a good nervous or a bad nervous?
I'm not going to answer.
But I literally never get nervous. And so, at this time I was working at Z100 and we did a whole contest. Where we gave listeners passes to join us in our Z100 suite at the Garden to watch me sing. And for the weeks leading up to it, people kept asking me, "Are you nervous?" I'm like, "No. Why is everybody asking me this?"
Yeah.
Like, no. And then so when they finally called my name to go out onto the court, they were like, "And now," and they called my name, and I was like,
Oh no,
Yeah.
the jitters.
I got a major case of the jitters. And so when I walked out and they handed me the microphone, I instinctively knew that I had to sing a whole octave lower, because had I tried to sing my regular octave, I would have cracked and it would have sounded horrible. And so I really did get nervous at that time, but it was a really fun, amazing experience. One of those,
How
That's
awesome.
beautiful.
one of those only in New York experiences.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
could say
Yeah.
once in a lifetime. I mean, not saying I would never do it again, but
I was going to say, would you do it again?
I
if
would
you
do
were
it again.
approached?
I would do it again.
Well, you know we have some connections, Shelley. We can.
I'd be so nervous that I'd
Can
forget the
make that
words.
See, I've been singing the national anthem my whole life, so it would be hard for me to forget those words, but I'm not saying it's not possible.
Did you see the video that came out just now? The young lady who was singing it and she passed out?
No.
You didn't see that video?
When was that?
Oh my God. do I
When
have a
you say
second-
did she fall?
Oh, yeah. What was that? Like, I'm
Stop.
sorry. Like, we're gonna have to
No.
do
Was
this,
she
right?
okay?
And
I mean, I suppose she's okay. Yeah.
Where
Okay, for those
was
of you at
this?
home that are not watching on KTU's YouTube and listening, just look it up on social,
Oh my
I guess.
God, look, I'll just play it right here. real
Okay.
quick.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Where
would be,
was she?
She was in like at a baseball game or something.
I mean, what city?
I don't wanna
'Cause I'm
take too much
is it
time
like,
off this.
I don't know. I
Oh
just
my
want to know, like,
gosh.
what city was she
Yeah.
in, and how big was the crowd?
Shelley's
she
gonna
just
cover
probably.
this in her next show.
Oh,
okay?
no,
This afternoon
that's
show,
just-
she's gonna
that's
cover
viral
this.
right now. Like
That
that
is
came out
great. No,
yesterday.
I
saw
missed it.
yesterday, yeah.
Wow. Oh, poor. I hope they have
No, I
her
hope
back,
she-
and
yeah, of course.
and that she can redeem herself.
She looked like she was representing for the military. You know,
Yeah,
she was,
that looked like she was in
Aw,
uniform.
She was that nervous.
Oh, poor kiddo.
Oh my God. I
That's
know. I
ter-
had
that's
not
She
seen
probably
that.
was on a 3-day fast, a water fast.
Yeah, you were telling me you were doing that fast.
So we're
I
back.
am,
We're
I
back on
am.
the health journey,
I
bro.
am on it. Look,
Okay,
I mean,
because last episode.
let's talk about
right.
every time I walk in here, there's something going on.
Okay,
It's your
first of
birthday,
all-
there's cakes.
okay.
There's... I've been
I
saying
went-
no to
I went-
everything, by the way.
I
I've
went
been
on a
doing good.
Euro trip and I brought you back something from our
I'm
homeland.
definitely gonna enjoy them.
All
when-
right.
After the fast is
All
over.
right. Shout out to the Greeks. Okay, moving on.
So, but I tell you, your skin looks fabulous.
Thank
Does it
you.
always look fabulous, or just because you're doing this fast?
You know, speaking truly, it's just always fabulous.
Okay,
but-
gotcha.
Wow.
I'm just playing. I'm playing.
It's the Greek genes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
Greek
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
it is.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I've but no, I'm doing it for other reasons, just to see. I've been
It's for the DJ
hearing
photo
so
shoot,
much.
don't lie.
It's for the photo
It's for the photo shoot. All right.
But
it's for
like
the
you
photo shoot.
guys have, I like your picture, the cover art for the podcast.
This
You look
is the
fabulous
first
in there.
time that we see it on the
It
studio.
looks-
Yeah, I walked
actually
in, I
in
was like,
studio.
oh.
It was kind of cool. Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I could
Yeah,
have ran it
look
through
at
a couple
us.
other filters, but still.
You look great though.
All right, let's get
Cool. All right.
focused here.
Let's focus. So you have worked in so many markets, right? New
Not
York,
a ton of them.
Houston,
A few.
major ones,
Major markets. yeah.
major
Few.
markets.
Major markets. Major markets.
You know, speaking of, you're back at iHeart, so that must feel
It's
Interesting
interesting
for
because
you.
the last time I worked at iHeart in New York, we were located in Tribeca.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it's very interesting. I'm gonna have to go around and say hi to some of my friends
Yeah.
before I leave.
I love that. We'll do a little tour.
Okay,
Before you- Yeah.
sounds good.
So, what have you learned about adapting to different markets without losing the authenticity of your voice? You're so big on authenticity
Mhm.
from your brand, your image, your voice, your sound. So, how do you not lose that?
I just try to be
Yeah.
me. You know, like I don't know about you, Pro, but excuse me, for me, I know some people are very successful at being characters. I'm just very much so.
No.
I find that I fail majorly when I'm trying to be
Yeah.
something other than who I am. So
Absolutely.
it just works for me to
Yeah.
be me. So it's not hard for me to make transitions. But the only thing that I would say is when I left New York and went to SoCal, I had to change up the flow because here, especially, you know, working at Z100 or KTU, they want you to be,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
hype and energetic.
Mhm.
But, you know, in SoCal, everybody's so laid back.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why are you yelling
Yeah,
at
why are
me?
you yelling? She's writing everything in caps.
Exactly.
Bold
So I
font.
had to,
Yeah.
you know, learn to pull back and, you know, like, oh, just be chill, you know. And that wasn't so hard for me because naturally I'm a very chill person, you know.
Yeah.
Especially the older I get, I'm very, you know, laid back and, you know, not a lot of drama. And so those are the only
Yeah.
thing, you know, you just need to follow the cues of, you know, like the lifestyle of where
Mhm.
you are. But, being from Texas, we're more laid back as well. And so that was more like, okay, just get back to, you know, where I started. Because I remember when I came to New York for Z100, Pullman and Daster, I
love them,
they gave me, they were like, gotta be hype, gotta be hype, gotta be.
Yeah.
So they drilled that into me. And so I learned that for here. But I'm more naturally a laid back person. So that wasn't really a difficult.
That's the South.
Yeah,
side.
exactly.
I came up in Florida.
Yeah.
And down in Orlando, it was the same thing. And
Yeah.
I think because I was always very hyper kind of and very aggressive, is I excelled though. And I think that's what it was. I think which is what got me to New York and here, obviously, as you know, everyone.
Yeah.
You got to be fast and moving fast and talking fast and.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't really, I think just as long as you stay true to yourself, I backed up from the microphone as if I don't know radio. I think as long as you stay true to yourself,
Yeah.
I don't think transitions are that difficult.
That's the key. What happened?
I'm sorry, our radiography team is just texting me.
Yeah.
Because they're like, can we come in the booth?
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, we're mid-interview, but sure.
Yeah, right.
Now's a great time to do DTF.
Yeah, why not?
You tell them to come
Liam
on in.
Is cracking up as they're... Liam, do you want to? I'm sorry. All right. So you have interviewed so many icons. I'm obsessed with your interviewing methods, right? It's an artistry in itself. I know we talk about the LL interviews all the time because it's so funny. And your mom's reaction that you told me off air.
I was just to fill everyone in. Listen, I grew up listening to LL, icon to me, and so much. Most of my coworkers are from New York, and they're like friends with all of these people. And for me, I'm like, LL. I'm still a fan. I will always be a music fan. And so LL has been on my show so many times now. We have like a working relationship. And my mom was watching one of our interviews, and she was like, he has a nickname for you. He calls you Shelley Shell. And so she was really excited about that. Cute. So that's what Penny was talking about.
But you've interviewed so many icons. So what keeps you grounded and passionate and kind of that, plain field with all these different personalities that you interview? I
don't know. Again, I'm typically a very grounded person, but I just try to remain professional as I'm doing it. I think Prince is my favorite artist of all time. I never interviewed him. It was one of my goals, but, sadly he passed away. But when I met him, I thought I would freak the F out, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, I was a little, but I met him and I was able to get actual words out and everything. So that surprised me. But, people like my favorite artists, like I'm totally Gen X, so you're talking people like Prince and Janet Jackson and meeting them and Lenny Kravitz and meeting and interviewing them. I remember when Janet came up on my show when I was on Z100, and it was like this very intimate. The record label people, sometimes they want to be in the studio with you. How do you feel about that, Pro?
I'm such a I don't care person.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the most like whatever, like whatever.
I prefer for like
it could be 101 or it could be 50 people. It doesn't matter to me.
I would prefer for it to be me and the artist, especially when the label people and the PR people are trying to tell you what you can't.
Well, that's
talk
different.
about.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
And so I just asked everyone, could it just be me and Janet in the studio? And it was after. It was like maybe a couple of years or maybe a year and a half after Nipplegate, and.
Nipplegate.
The label.
That's a good.
That's a good one.
The label did not want me to ask her
about that.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And I remember the day before, Elvis Duran had Justin Timberlake on his show, and they said to him, "Hey, Justin, FYI, Janet's going to be on Shelley's show tomorrow. Would you like to say anything to her?" And I'm not sure if they had talked, since the Super Bowl performance or not. But the rumor was that Janet had a little issue with Justin because she felt, again, this was rumor. Janet never said this, but the rumor was that she felt like she took all the heat and he didn't. Meanwhile, his career is thriving and he was on stage with her, right?
Yeah.
But and the rumor was she felt like he didn't stand up enough for her. And so Justin left her that message. And I remember saying to Janet, when the label left the studio, said, "Janet, I know they asked me not to ask you about the Super Bowl. However, Justin was here yesterday." This was like during a commercial break. We had taken a break from the interview. It was like a long leisurely. She was here. She had a home here. She probably still does. She was here for Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So she was just kind of hanging out. She wasn't like on this schedule, like I'm on tour and I have to go. And so we're just kind of hanging out. And I said, hey, listen, they don't want me to ask you about this, but Justin was here. Would you mind me asking you about it? She's like, oh, sure, you can ask, And then so we come back from commercials and I said, Janet, Justin was here and this and that. And, it was kind of like the studio back in the day was like a fishbowl.
It's all glass. You could
see, all glass.
And they're hearing you on the other side.
And the record label people, they were scrambling. They were furious. They were running around like, oh, my God. And I'm like, I asked her and she didn't say I couldn't ask her.
Yeah.
And then so I asked her and she's like, oh, and I played Justin's audio for her over the air. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Shelley. I didn't know what you were saying. And I was like, what? You heard exactly what it's like, I felt like she wanted to put the message out there. You know how Mariah does the whole, I don't know her. I think it felt like Janet was trying to do that with Justin. And that's just my interpretation of it. Like, oh, I'm not commenting on that. Although she told me it was okay for me to ask her. She didn't tell me she was going to like act like she didn't know.
Yeah.
But, those kinds of things. But it was a really wonderful interview with someone I grew up, and listening to and admiring and felt like a big sister in my head.
Yeah.
And the first song I ever sang solo was a Janet Jackson song. So she means a lot to me.
Circle for you.
And so that was really wonderful interviewing her. Beyonce doesn't do a ton of interviews anymore. And when she does interviews, most of the time it's like she'll handpick who interviews her for a magazine or whatever. But I was lucky enough to catch her right before, like maybe a week or two before she released her first solo album. It was when I think Crazy in Love was really big. It was like 2003. And she had come to Z100 for just to do some drops and such. And Sharon Daster came to me. She was like, Shelley, I know Beyonce came here for the drops, but I know you guys know each other from Houston. Would you ask her if she would do an interview with you? And I asked her and she said yes. And I got an interview with her. And she doesn't really do many radio interviews anymore.
That's
so that
cool.
was although I constantly request interviews with her.
It's those last minute. You have,
it was like,
I remember I called, Pecos, obviously, right?
What'd you say?
Sean Pecos?
Yes.
So Pecos hits me one day. I'm on the radio and he's like, yo, I'm with, because I was bothering him about doing a Jay-Z interview. He's like, yo, I'm with Hov now. You want to talk to him? I was like, yeah, phone call. He's like, I can call you right now. You got to answer quick. He got 5 minutes. He's like, you don't go longer than 5 minutes. This is when like King the Kiss the Throne. I forgot what album.
Yeah.
He called and we were on the phone for like 30 minutes.
I love it.
He texted me like 20 times, like, hang up.
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
it's
he's
always
so
their
cool.
people,
We're
right?
having like a 25-minute conversation, and
it's always
great.
their people
cool.
that they want the gatekeepers,
100%.
not hating on them, but most of the time the artists, if they have time and they're enjoying themselves, they don't mind.
But it's those last out of nowhere interviews that you're like, wow,
it's classic.
And then when it was over, I was like, I can't believe I just talked to Hov.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Classic. I love it. So I'm not sure if I answered your question.
You
but...
did, and gave us cool stories. So those are your moments, right? Where you're like, wow, I like those made it moments that we have, and now you get to pass the baton. And you mentored a few of our students, right?
Which was a
short
wonderful
while ago at
experience.
94.7 The Block. Shout out to the Odyssey team. They were so gracious.
I'm trying to
all of you opening the doors.
Let me see if I can remember all the students. Alexis is sitting with us right now.
Alexis
and then I remember Ida from Norway.
Yep.
And I remember Juan from the Bronx.
Yep.
And who am I missing? Don't tell me. It starts with a C. Not Colleen. Oh my God, I can't think of her name. But she's from Colombia.
Yes.
And what's her?
I believe it's Christina.
I mean, I have it on my IG. So anyway, you guys can carry on while I check out my ID because I want to shout her out as well. But yeah, it was a wonderful experience being able to spend time with the students and let them see the behind the scenes of what we do. And they had some really amazing questions for me as well. Did. So okay, here you go. I found it. Camila from Colombia.
Sorry,
so yeah, shout out to
Pro. Don't give me that look. Sometimes
it's just a rough day for you. I get it. It's a rough day. You're jet lagged. You're coming off the plane.
I came here for Shelley.
But yeah, it really was a wonderful experience because again, I started as a college student, in radio. And so if there are any students who who want to, see behind the scenes or ask me questions, I'm always really excited to, offer my help.
I hope college radio is still thriving and doing well.
Yeah,
that's how I got into radio. Also,
Yeah.
in Orlando, I ended up with actually DJ Khaled.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
We ended up Khaled and DJ Nasty, who's another very successful DJ and family. They're like family. That's how I got into DJing with them at a young age.
Very
I have
cool.
pictures like I'm 13 and Khaled's 15.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah. And
so when you were 13, did you know you wanted to do radio, or was that
I
just
had
something?
a passion. No, radio.
Just DJing.
Yeah, radio wasn't even an option for me. Right, it wasn't something I thought about. I just loved music.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in Queens, then the family moved to Orlando when I was like 12.
How cool was that, being right close to Disney World and all that?
That's how they sold it to us. We're going to Orlando. We're gonna go we thought we were going there for a vacation, ended up staying there.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So
you're like, we never went to Disney.
We never went back. It
went
was a little different. We weren't living in Disney, I could tell you.
Okay.
But it was amazing. There's definitely other sides to Florida, right? But we won't go. That's a whole nother podcast.
Okay,
the other side.
The other side.
That's the next
side.
episode.
We'll teach you about the other side.
Florida, the other side. That's the next
Florida.
episode.
It's like everyone in Miami knows, like, the South Beach, but then when you cross over the bridge, there's a whole other side. So, but no, not to take too much time, but yeah, I got into radio. I mean, I was into clubs and to music and just DJing.
Yeah.
DJing back then wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Especially when I was doing it, not to age myself, but we're talking like 30 years ago or something like that,
Yeah.
and
you just aged yourself.
Yeah, so either way, it's fine.
Listen, we came up at the same
like
time.
NOG
So it's okay.
and the Bulldogs was the first vinyl record I bought. Like,
yeah, oh wow.
And
I have not heard anybody say NOG and the Bulldogs in a minute.
And I don't think anybody's probably said their name since then when I bought the record. But
you're bringing them back.
It was "Be a Father to Your Child" record. I never forget it. Yeah,
God.
Back then, buying vinyl back then and DJing wasn't a thing to do. So but when I did it, so then there was a college that had a radio, and I went there to hang out once or twice, and I was like, this is crazy. I was like, so wait, so people hear you guys right now, like what you're doing, and people would call in. I'm like, this is crazy. And then they gave me a chance to start being like a guest DJ. I was like 16 at the time.
Oh wow.
So I would just DJ on it, and people would hit me up, like calling in, because during that time there was no social media or nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you run into somebody who said they heard you, and that sparked the passion of kind of the interest of it. Yeah. But then I went to nightlife, and that's where I really thrived, like becoming a bigger mixtape DJ and then getting my name big enough to where the bigger radio station then reached out and were like, hey, we have this overnight slot for a mix, from 12 to 1 on a Friday night. And I almost didn't do it because I was like, oh, that's tough. Like, that's when I DJ clubs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it takes taking up your DJ time.
But I was like, let me try it. So I did it like once or like for 2 or 3 weeks. Then I stopped, and then eventually got a phone call, to come do a 5 o'clock mix, which was the bigger, the prime time mix.
Time.
Did that for years, and that's what got me from there. I could continue on, but this is not my podcast.
Very cool.
Like,
it is.
This is not my story.
The mixtapes need to come back. I just told Precise, you got to start bringing the mixtapes back. Yeah,
it's tough. Well, they are.
Yeah.
They're different now.
It's
they're not
just,
mixtapes.
They're not the
stream
same.
mixes. I mean, you could go online and
different.
stream a bunch of mixes from. You're just not buying the actual cassette anymore. Shots of Clue and.
Yeah,
and going other times,
going to
selling their tapes out of there.
and St. Nick.
I used to, the mixtapes were a big part of the game. I mean, I remember I used to be one of those kids who lined up for Clue's tape,
did you
or
sell,
for
did
Ron
you,
G, or for Green Lantern,
buy tapes or sell your tapes from the trunk.
I did. I didn't sell them. I used to go to the hood spots, to the malls and the stores and the clothing stores where they would sell mixtapes. Like, mixtapes were so popular then that you go into a clothing store and behind the counter they'll have a thing, and you got the new this.
Yep.
And as I grew my name in Orlando, that's where I would sell my mixtapes, and people would buy them, and that's how you kind of gauge that you were becoming hot. Like, oh wow,
very cool.
I dropped off 10 mixtapes, and now there's like 9 left. Somebody loves me. No, but still,
those were really exciting times. They
Yeah.
really were. Now I find that when I talk to kids today, they, they long for that kind of thing. They're like, oh, God, the music was so much better when you guys were coming up and all. So
it's
they
not,
long
not
for
that.
that.
They're going to continue. 20 years from now, they'll talk about the music today being better, right? So I think this music goes with the time. But I think the way about doing things back then was different. You had to have a different kind of passion. I feel like today, I'm not saying the passion isn't the same, but the steps to get from point A to wherever you want to be are so different that back then, like, if you had to be a passionate person to
if
DJ.
you didn't have that grind, that hustle, because there was a lot of street promo you had to
Camelo,
do.
Right? Me and DJ Camelo were talking about this the other day. Like, how many DJs wouldn't be around if you really had to still lug crates around and records and go get the vinyl and you know, back then if you didn't have certain vinyl, you didn't have it. So that was it. You couldn't get it anymore. Now you could just download the song. It doesn't matter. Back then, if you scratched a record of mine, I was like, we were gonna fight. Like, or if something happened, because I had to have two in order to juggle and to do things. But that's a whole nother. I know we're going long on time, so let's, you know,
we have answered.
Let's get to the college stage. Let's get to Berkeley. Let's get to the fact that you're an ambassador and a student, right?
Yes, Shelley. So Shelley is one of our Berkeley College ambassadors, and it has been such a fun trip with you going down. I remember our first conversation. We wanted to meet right virtually, and we had a Zoom, and we spoke about your values and how they aligned with Berkeley College, and we were so excited. And then you said, "I don't just want to do some spots. I want to take a class. I want to be authentic." So what are you taking? What are you doing?
Entrepreneurship. Berkeley, amazingly enough, offers a 4-course entrepreneurship certificate, you know, and my goal is to be a better entrepreneur, you know, and so that's what I'm studying at Berkeley.
How many classes? You have one left, right?
I have 2 left.
You have 2 left.
Yeah. So I've taken 2 down, 2 to go.
All right, we got to wrap
That's
that up,
awesome.
Shelley.
I know.
Let's speak about it. But it's so cool that it just speaks to who you are as a person and your character to want to lead that authentic path, which is circling back to what we said at the beginning. You didn't just want to speak about it. You wanted to be about it.
Yes.
So that was so cool. We're enrolling pro at some time.
Yeah.
But
one of the things I love.
I am going to enroll. And that's why, and I didn't even know, you know, entrepreneurship is a great.
Yeah.
So.
And I was just about the point I was going to make is that I like how, you know, because we have such a busy schedule.
Yeah, it's tough.
And then also for me, I know it's for you as well. Every day is different from the previous day or the next day. And so you need to be able to have something that works with your schedule. And that's one of the things I love about Berkeley. You know, if I wanted to take it in person, I could.
You could.
But I can also take the courses online and just do it in my own time. And that's one of the things I love about Berkeley.
I love that. So you continue to shape your communities through your platform. You continue to mentor. You continue to inspire others to aspire to be better. So what is next in your journey?
I just want to, you know, and not to get all like religious-y, you know, but whenever I pray, I just always pray that I can use my gifts for good in this world. And so wherever that takes me, you know, I have a podcast called The Goodness Factor with Shelley Wade, and that allows me to, thank you. Yeah. I actually just won an award for it. The New York Association of Black Journalists gave me an award for the podcast. And basically, I just try to put good news out there, shine the spotlight on good people doing good things, just good energy. So whatever I do, I want to make sure that it aligns with those, you know, because, you know, we can be inundated with bad news and negative news. And you guys know how it is. You go on social media and it's like a bunch of craziness. And sometimes we can be just deluged with it and overwhelmed by it. And instead of feeling that way, I thought, you know, I'm going to put good news out there so that, you know, when people want that option, I'm one of the people they can go to. Yeah. And so, guys, please subscribe, The Goodness Factor with Shelley Wade. And so those are the things that I, you know, am focused on. So whatever I do from here on out, so I feel like with radio, I've, you know, achieved, you know, all the stuff I wanted to achieve. I'm not saying it's over. But, you know, when I think of goals, I want to make sure that I use whatever time I have with this platform to just put goodness out there. That's my goal.
That's awesome. Positive vibes only.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
exactly.
That, which leads us to, I wish we weren't finishing and wrapping up, but to our final question. So at Berkeley College, we ask our students to describe what Berkeley means to them in one word. So in one word, if you could describe what you would want your legacy to be, what would that word be?
Oh, wow. And you gave me the questions ahead of time, and I completely forgot.
Don't tell the people you got them ahead of time.
Because that's a really great question, you know, and it's like difficult
it's
to
hard
fit
to
it
find
in one word.
It's hard to find.
So my legacy, geez Louise, in one word?
In one word.
True. I mean, because I just say that because, you know, and again, I'm not a huge astrology person, but I'm a Sagittarian. And if you know any Sagittarians, you'll know that one of the things that most important to us is just being true to who we are. And so Alexis, you're Sagittarius, right? And that right? And so for me, whatever I'm doing, it's got to be true to who I am. I can't fake the funk like that. I'm, not good when it comes to faking the funk. And so when I'm gone and all is said and done, I want, one of the things I want people to say about me is she stayed true to who she was, and so I'd say true.
I love that. You know what I love? That no one has used a word that someone has before.
No, I was just about to say that. I thought you were going to say nobody used true. I was going to say, well, nobody said the same word yet.
No.
But yeah.
Oh,
We've
cool
had a couple of cool
Mm-hmm.
ones. We had Sean Paul, his word is greatness.
Oh, I love Sean Paul.
Yeah.
Love him so
Crystal
much.
Rosas, love.
Love, okay.
So we've had some cool words.
Some good ones, yeah. Love Sean Paul. Love.
I love it.
That's
All right,
awesome.
Well, Shelley, thank you so much for being with us today. We had so much. We have to do this again.
I know. Thank you
We had
guys
so
for
much fun.
having me. I
she has so
appreciate
much.
it.
We'd have to have
We
a
need
whole
to have
nother episode.
a whole other episode to get into it.
Because she does TV.
Well, because it
she's
became
done
the
so much
Prostyle
radio.
interview today,
No,
so-
be quiet. Stop
Yeah,
that.
but thank you guys
Stop
for
that
having
right
me. I appreciate it.
No,
Thank
I
you.
loved having you. This is so much fun. But you do so much more. So we definitely have to do a
Thank
part
you.
two.
And
Yeah.
this is a great adventure, visiting one of our competing radio companies, but not so much.
Yeah.
You know
I mean,
what?
because I was a part of the iHeart family
at
for a
Teach
lot of
Me
years.
Something,
So
we are lovers. We're
yeah.
inclusive to the world.
And then now, I don't
So,
know if
yeah.
you guys heard, but now you can hear our station on the iHeart app.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, iHeartRadio, yeah.
So every day, sorry, Pro, but every day, catch me 2 to 7 p.m. on 94.7 The Block, New York City via the iHeartRadio
There
app.
you go. And then
Yes.
you could do that. Because after her show's over, then you just switch over to mine, which
pros.
starts at 7.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
And then you can stream
It's
this
a-
podcast whenever you want. so
whenever
you know
you
what?
want.
Just have a marathon. There
Yeah.
you
Passing
go.
the
go.
baton to
There
Prostyle.
we
That's
go.
what I'm
I
doing
love
every
it.
day.
I love that.
There you go.
That's what I'm
Thanks,
talking about.
Shelley.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for listening. Tune in next week.
For all new episode of Teach Me Something.
Brought to you by Berkeley College.